What up? What up? Welcome into Pregaming here on Sports Money. It's Monday, June the 17th, 6 p.m. Eastern. You guys already know what this is all about here. Going to try to give you guys my favorite looks to cook the books tonight, but it's a community effort. We're going to count on you guys in the chat. What do you guys have to get us paid? And let's just keep rolling, right? We had a glorious Saturday live stream. Shout out to everybody that was a part of that fun endeavor out there. UFC killed it. We slayed. We ended up picking up that Kansas City Royals money line, the +1.5s as well. And then ran it into yesterday. It was a great Sunday. And here we are with Monday. New week, new money. Time to get paid, you guys. Hit that thumbs up button and show the support. You guys have been doing a great job with that. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart there. It means a ton for you guys to come out here, hang out on the regular, and show the support. Let them know where you're spending time getting your last minute information, everything you guys need to go out there and smash these bookies. Of course, you guys know after the thumbs up, grab yourself some pen and paper. You're going to want to write down the plays that I'm sharing, and not just myself, but this chat. I said it before, sharper every single day. That's what happens. We work together. We share angles. We share trends. We share injury updates. We share facts around the days of the week and how these teams do in first games of the series. All kinds of great stuff to continue to build together. I love when you guys reach out to me and you're asking about different plays. Even when we're not live, I get you guys hitting me up on the weekend asking what do you think about this? Does this fall under that trend? And it just keeps me sharp and on my toes as well. And of course, you guys make sure you put those plays in the chat. So much fun recognizing what you guys are on and going back and forth. And new week with a new leader in the clubhouse. Shout out to Deerslayer Ski. First guy in the house tonight giving us his favorite looks. He says, what's good, Mikey? And everybody, new week, new cash. Let's get it. I'm on the Rangers, the Pirates, and the Celtics tonight for our guy, Deerslayer Ski. I know that chaps up our guy, Joe T. He's on the Cardinals and Marlins over 7. Got in there just a little before you, Joe T. About 45 minutes earlier, Deerslayer Ski gets the title today. And then there's David Wallace. David Wallace, what's up, my guy, David? Hope things are going well for you. Says, what's up, everyone? I'm on the Reds, Rockies, and the Blue Jays. Also the under 12.5 and the Rockies. Let's get this money. I love the sounds of a bunch of those plays out there. Earlier today on the sesh, I got a stake bet going with Jose on the Blue Jays. I'm 0-2 on my stake bets with Jose Bouquet. He loves these Red Sox tonight. Oh, man, I said two guys looking at the same game in two completely different ways. Let's go out there. Gerald Jones, here he is. He says, new week, pimp and crew, best bet. St. Louis Cards on the run line for our guy, Gerald Jones. And Justin McKelvey coming in there. He's giving his play of the day as well. He's looking at this Phillies game. He likes himself a little Schwarber over 1.5 bases at -105. I told you last week our guy was grinding. Look at that. Brought his record back to 500. And I expect big things from Justin here as we cruise through the summer. You know, we're probably like a third of the way through the baseball season. So there's plenty of time. Pre-All-Star break, we go out there and strike. After the All-Star break, we start to see exactly what these teams have in store, who's going to be buyers and who will be sellers. Oldies in the house. He says, what's up, fam? He says, that Justin McKelvey, I see you, G. Hope all is well your way, sir. Deerslayer Ski says, let's get it. Phil the Kills in the house. What up, Phil? He says, riding Blue Jays. Enjoy the steak, Mikey money. I hope so. I'm like the only guy that's 0-2 to this guy in this fucking steak bet. I don't know what happened. Kenny Wood says, what's up, Mike? And Pre-Gaming gang. What's up, Ken Wood, my guy? There's Nasty Nate, a.k.a. Mr. Trifecta, a.k.a. The Mechanic, a.k.a. The Wrench, a.k.a. Celtics gonna win, he says here, with a ton of clover leaves to get it done. Shout out, there's my guy, Gonzo in the house says, what's up, everyone? Can't wait to make some money tonight. Man, my guy Gonzo's getting fired up. His model is getting perfected like an aged bottle of wine. Just about ready to drink. Let's go, my guy Gonzo. I'm excited to see you progressing, dude. So much fun talking back and forth and then seeing the tweaks that you're making and hearing about the results. Congrats to you and keep going out there. There's the Wrench, Nasty Nate, the Wrench. Justin McKelvey says, yes, sir, oldie. And Katie Nguyen's in us. Says, good afternoon, Mike Monies, sir. What's up, Katie? It's good to see you in there. Jay Peasy, what up, Jay Peasy says, what up, mother puckers? Set my alarm to 3 p.m. today. Let's get this money. Katie Newman says, love to see you. Appreciate that. Appreciate seeing you. Katie, good to see you in here. Jeffrey Moore says, the spot today is for sure the Pirates game. Jeffrey Moore, we will talk about that game. We certainly will. Trisha M's in the house. What up, Trisha M? What up? Let's go Oilers, Trisha M. That was a fun game on Saturday. Fun game Saturday night. Of course, why wouldn't it be when I'm on the Oilers and we get an 8-goal explosion? But it's good to see Trisha M up in here. Katie Newman, here we go. Drew Holiday, over assist tonight. Trisha M says, no bet, Bootcat steak, get it home. Moolah, let's go. Subhuman Gaucho's in the house. He was part of the Saturday extravaganza as well with Joe T and the squad. MMA Jeff was there. Says, evening, everybody. What's up, Subhuman Gaucho? It's good to see you. And Winner Circle says, hey, yo, Skeens Day. Skeens over 8.5 strikeouts. And the Celtics Mavs over 209 for a yo in the Winner's Circle play of the day there for our guy. Let's get that on the screen. Oldie says, Trisha M, are you drying out down there? Drying out from the flooding. Hopefully not the cocktail. And Trisha M, let's go. Kenny Wood says, Justin McKelvey, I think we could see a Schwar bomb tonight. Ken Wood says, what's up, Gaucho? And Kelsey's in the house. Says, Mikey, best of luck tonight. Appreciate you, Kelsey. Thanks for coming in. And LJ from H-Town. Yo, Mikey says, here we go. Our guy LJ giving us a best bet in this Boston Mavericks game. First half over 107.5. Tarek P's in the house says, what up? Big Mike, how did Fugit win the fight? We all cashed and you were hilarious. I'm going to have to go back and watch that, Tarek P. I made a lot of money on that fight. I don't know what happened. I'll have to go back and watch the end results of it because I made a lot. I made so much money on it that despite being severely intoxicated, I still was going out there tweeting about how we all made a bunch of money. Fugit, fuck it. Let's go. Marco Carrasco's in the house. He says, what's up, fams? Phillies money line, bomb RBI, sprinkle on the homer. He is due out there. Nicholas Handy's in the house. Trisha M says, you can't scare me, Mikey. We finish off the Oilers tomorrow. And Kelsey's in the house giving you guys the what's up. Now you know if you didn't know. Smash the like button. Smash the likey for Mikey. I dropped a couple F-bombs already inside the 8-minute mark. That's my bad. That's my bad. Oldie says, Trisha M, Panthers -1.5 at +195. You know I'm on it. I mean, there's no reason you shouldn't be. The Panthers are so deep. They're back home. It's a big spot. Why not? Why not? Let's go. It's going to be a lot of fun watching this series close out. I'll tell you what. I'm curious what you guys think in the chat. Who's more likely to come back with the big upset? If Dallas wins tonight, do they have a better chance to go back and close this thing out and beat the Celtics? Or if the Oilers win tomorrow, do they have a better chance to go back and beat the Florida Panthers? What do you guys think? I'm curious. Or are we all just locked down? We're all tired of these playoffs. The NHL's over. The NBA's over. Let's just get them out and move on to next season. Kelsey says the Oilers. Kelsey says Cats and Celtics, but the Oilers follow that model for her. Trisha M says, that OD? Yes, sir. We're finally starting to dry out. Gulfstream canceled 3 days in a row. Never seen it. The D-Gens were Jones. And I just saw that the official appellate division, I guess, struck down any appeals that the state of Florida put in place to regulate the gambling industry down there. And looks like the Seminole tribe will maintain rights to gambling until, what was I see, 2052? The entire state of Florida, 2052? That's like 30 years. I couldn't believe I saw that. Seminoles, man. Maybe Florida State will get a little bit of cash now, a little bit of donor dollars to get in the NIL game and become more relevant across the board. Kelsey says NBA finals down 0-3 are like 473,628 to come back. Yeah, I don't think they have. I don't think they've seen that, but I do like the number. I do like the number. Oh, there it is. Trish M says, Oldie, nice work. I parlayed the Panthers Celtics money line +141. No one wants to fly back to Canada. And Kelsey says she thinks it's happening in the NHL. I appreciate you guys coming to hang out tonight. It's a short but sweet card tonight. I think there's a great combination of value and plus money spots. Mismatch pitching opportunities. Tape is out on some of those pitchers. And then we've got some NBA player props to go smash out there. In fact, I've got a first half bet on a side. I've got a total bet, and then I've got three NBA player props that I jumped in on as well. There's Londo in the house. What's up, Londo? How you doing, my guy? He says 3-unit max bet. The Dallas money line. Trish M says, Hard Rock Seminoles Monopoly 2051. I couldn't believe I saw the number. I couldn't believe the number of you, not even like a sample, not even like, here's a 10-pack of years. Let's see what you do with it. No, they were just like, hey, just take this thing for the next 25 years and we'll figure it out after that. That's a long time. Kelsey says, Mikey, do you have a best bet tonight? I think I do. Let's get into it, you guys. Let's rock and roll. Hit that thumbs up button if you're just jumping in. Help support the cause, support the gang, support the crew. You guys, we are 2 weeks deep with the UFC content now. MMA Jeff, Subhuman Gaucho, and releasing First Strike. Hopefully you got, this past fight card was tough because the cancellations. I'm not one of those guys to say it was a shit card. A lot of people did. I made a lot of money. Listen, what's shittier? That UFC card on Saturday or what we've seen in these NBA finals? I'm going to go with the NBA finals. I'll take my cash where I can get it, but I do think we have some opportunity to get this money tonight. I'll share with you guys my best bet, and we will continue to talk about what's happening down the pike. So we've got the First Strike is out there. We'll begin doing volume 3 this week. Excited to announce, it's going to be a teaser, just a little teaser. Check us out tomorrow. We're going to have some new content coming out there. Specific, it's a sports niche opportunity. Brought in an expert. He was like, hell yeah, I'll record something and get it out there for you guys. So stay tuned tomorrow. We'll have a big release when we launch it. All I got to say, I told you we're going to keep layering this stuff in for you guys. All about getting winners and giving you guys solid strategic cappers that are sharing their best looks to help everybody get paid. And shout out to Bryson DeChambeau, U.S. Open champion ×2. Good win for that guy. Rory McIlroy, I'm not a Rory fan. I've said that before. His anti-American sentiment to me is just too much, but happy to see him miss those putts. I missed a putt like that. I missed a putt like that the other day. And I know my buddy's got a good chuckle. I was good and pissed. Couldn't have been 6 inches. Fucking thing broke twice. How does it break twice? 6 inches is about this big. How does it break twice in that little oh man, I don't know what happened there. Anyways, Morgan Spooner's in the house says, what's up, Mikey? Freddie Freeman home run props, winds blowing to the right 50 miles an hour. Freeman is 6-12 off Cantrell and has he 2 in the last 3 at Coors. So our guy Morgan Spooner likes himself some Freddie Freeman action tonight. Juggler 23 says, in the NBA finals, when the home team is coming off a loss of 15 plus points, the under is cashed 14 out of 17 times over the last 10 years. Woo! Now there's a number. There's a number with some meat on the bone. Oldie says, Hard Rock contract until the Great Eagle crosses a blue moon. I like that, Oldie. That's probably true. There's probably some relevance to that. What's up, Nutflesh? Allen's in the house. Says, what's up, boys and girls? And Mike, our resident Team Total Whispers in the house. He made some cash for us last week. He's back to give it to you guys again. We'll keep our eyes on what Nutflesh Allen has to say. It's good to see you, Mike. Trish M says, Oldie, it's a nice deal by the Chief. And Juggler 23 says, NBA teams that come off a game in which they scored 90 points or fewer have responded well when favored in the next outing, going 133-47 straight up, 110-68 against the spread in their last 180 tries. Look at that number out there. Leonard Porsche is in the house. He says, what's up, Nutflush? Juggler 23 says, Rory is a choker. Yeah, so Rory, when he married the publicist, the PR person, I guess, on the tour, right? And she's from my hometown. So when he comes into town to see her friends and her family, he's out there at Oak Hill. Everyone gets excited. He's just working out in the gym like a normal dude. He's got his trainer on. He's got his trainer on, his smartphone there, and he's got the trainers watching him work out wherever he's from. And you can see he's got the earpieces in. He's talking back and forth, and I'd like to fucking smack him. But that's a different story. Real Deal Prime says, let's go, y'all. What's up, Real Deal Prime? We're just getting down to it, man. They've already got the Flyers preseason schedule out there. You know what's coming up next. We're going to see what the Sabres got in store, Real Deal Prime. I know you're excited for that. Subs in the house. There we go. I just talked about him and Saturday's cash extravaganza. My guy, Was that a plus 650 he picked up there? Just on one fight plus 650. The Braves in the over 7.5 at plus 155. The Pirates in the under 8.5 at plus 180. And he likes the Phillies on the run line. There's my guy Troy Torrance in the house. What up, Double T? He says Phillies equal. Is that the cash cow? Are the Phillies the cash cow? Is the question. That's what we want to know. Love you guys coming in, sharing your looks, man. That's what makes this so much fun. Not just about me spouting off some numbers at you guys, but you guys have some qualitative information that's being shared across the board. Jay Peasy likes the Phillies run line. Leonard's giving Troy the shout out. Old E's giving Troy the shout out. And there's Juggler 23. Here we go. Wise guy, NBA and baseball plays there. Here we go. He's got the St. Louis Cards minus 1.5 runs at plus 115. The money line in the Celtics minus 6. Sounds like a little parlay out there. And Old E says, Subhuman Gaucho, I knew I smelled trouble. Hope you're good, brother. You know he's good, man. He cashed a pile this weekend. You know he's doing well. Let's go. Going to be a lot of fun to see what goes on this week, you guys. Again, we'll have some content come Wednesday for the first strike. Then we got some new content. Just going to sprinkle it out there. Some new content for you guys coming out tomorrow. Should be excited. Fun to lock and load it. As soon as it gets out there, we will let you guys know. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn the notifications on because, we found live shows. We come in here and talk to you guys at 6 o'clock. And, obviously our live streams are legendary for the cash that we kick. But at the same time, sometimes scheduling is not the most convenient for everybody. Worldwide enterprise. So we want to get these cappers in there with their best information that we can upload and then let you guys enjoy it for a couple of days before the events kick off. So that's the game plan. We will keep grinding if you guys keep hitting that thumbs up button. Can't get enough good information out there. So let's just do that. Morgan Spooner said, Troy, here's my card. He likes the Brewers money line minus 110. Marcus Semien over 1.5 bases at plus 110. The Cardinals minus 1 at minus 120. And Freddie Freeman home run out there at plus 285. Londo's got that max bet on the Mavs. Jay Peasy likes the Phillies run line, Texas A&M run line, and the Cubs under 10. I like that Cubs under. I think that's a sharp little sneakster out there, Jay Peasy. Oldie says, Troy Torrance just locked gate. No handicap for me pre-flop. Trying to exploit the Marlins game somehow. Troy Torrance says, I like the Cards on the money line. Troy says, it's funny. Database is under with emphasis, but not when you look at these two teams in this profile. Over out there for Troy Torrance talking about, I believe that's that Cardinals game out there. Here's Darius Moore in the house. What up, Darius Moore? My guy says Al Horford over 6.5 points. Drew Holiday over 11.5 points. Boston under 210.5. And the Celtics money line is a 4-leg parlay for Darius Moore sharing his action out there. Leonard says, Troy, I just DM'd you a trend you're going to want to back. Well, Leonard, share the goods, my guy. Let's go. JP says, all the Rockies nonsense might push me on the Dodgers in some form or fashion. I don't like the homer bet, but the Rockies is triggering my radar out there. And Juggler 23 wants to know if Trisha M is going to the Panthers game tomorrow. She's going to wait till game 7. She'll wait till game 7. There are plenty more games to come. That's how Trisha M rolls out there. Go to the big one. Skip these little middle makers here, if you will, right along the board. Let's go. Let's get into tonight's action for you guys. 6:40 p.m. starting off in 20 minutes. We've got the Reds and the Pirates. This line opened up at big minus 180 favorites. It's Skeens Day. Everybody on the fucking planet knows it's Skeens Day today. This line has 88% of the bets and 91% of the cash on the Pirates. You guys know the deal. We look at the percentage of bets, generally speaking, more public bets, more of the smaller tickets, more of the parlays, more of the prop bets. That's kind of the soup, that everything that goes into it, generally public. Then we see the cash, the percentage of money. Generally going to be your sharper bettors. Your bigger bettors, at the very least, doesn't necessarily mean they're sharp just because they have a backpack full of money, but the bigger bettors coming in. Then we look at those two components and we say, well, what are the books doing? How are the books showing concern? With Skeens Day here and the Pittsburgh Pirates, 88% of the bets and 91% of the cash on the Pirates, it's dropped a nickel. It's gone from minus 180 to minus 175. This is probably line stabilization because we do see that the red side has moved 8 cents. So plus 152 to plus 160. Then we have a total that is not moving. So this is one of those cards that I looked across the board, you guys, and I thought literally every single game could go under. I'll scroll through. I think there was one game I thought might go over, but as I looked at this thing on the surface, I thought every single game could very well go under. As we look at the action for you guys, this is how I'm getting started tonight. This is how this is how we do it right now. Yeah, we're fading Skeens. Well, we're not entirely fading Skeens, right? 2.43 ERA. He's 3-0 on the season. There's no question. This guy's the second coming. He's been playing phenomenal. I get it. Anybody that wants to go out there, here's what I got to ask you. These teams are dead split, 34 and 37. You want to go out there and lay minus 225 on a kid that just got out of college, even though he is running and gunning, and now there's tape on this guy? I don't know. On the other side of things, we have Spires, 2.33 ERA for this guy. And I love what Jose Bouquet said. No picture means young guy in the league. Skeen's got a picture out there despite being a young guy, but they had to. He commanded putting a photo out there. And I'll give it to you guys. Just a cut and dry bottom line here. I am involved on this first 5 under. Here's what I was thinking about this one. I expect Skeens to go out there and shove. We look at this Reds team. They went 1-2 in the series against the Brewers. This is their second road series in a row. They won the first game 6-5. They lost 3-1, and they lost 5-4. That 5-4 loss, to me, felt like more of the Milwaukee Brewers bullpen collapsing. They struggled to hang on to that game 5-4. So I kind of looked at this thing and I thought, all right, Skeen should go out there and shove. Then we go on the other side of things. Look, the Pirates are very much in that coin flippy situation. Could they go out there and smack 8 runs like they did yesterday against Colorado? Maybe. I'm banking on these two guys being able to get through the order twice. I'm banking on the first 5 under 4.5. Then I looked at Cincinnati. Check this out. First of all, Pittsburgh coming back from Coors. We talked about this. Teams that make their first return game anywhere else after they play in Colorado, those bats tend to struggle a little bit. That's kind of what led me to this first 5. But then I looked at the Cincinnati Reds side of the house. What did I find with the Cincinnati Reds? How about this one, you guys? I like this one a lot. Not just because it's 140 and 90. Let me start off by saying it's 140 and 90. It's won 7 of its last 10 starts. A road dog, over 500. Opponent coming back home for the first game. Fade away, and you're getting a plus 160 to do it right now, especially given the Coors factor that goes into this thing. And everybody loves Skeens. They love Skeens so much they haven't moved the number. Vegas doesn't give a shit. Books don't care about it being Skeens Day. I'm in the same spot there. Nutflush Allen says at Mike, especially when it's the next day from Colorado, which is even a stronger point than any. There's been no rest in there with that travel and everything else that's coming into it. LJ from H-Town's giving us some good Reds are 8-3 in the first game of the road series. That all of these kind of underlying opportunities just further support why it should be a Reds day. And if you took Skeens out of there, I know it's Skeens. Let's just step aside from this fucking guy for a second. He's got a 2.43 ERA and Spire's got a 2.33 ERA. So on the surface, if it wasn't Skeens, if it was just called player A versus player B, would you be out there rolling a minus 225 in the first 5? Probably not. What say you, especially when you see all that money, 88% of the cash, 88% of the bets and 91% of the cash coming in there. I think it's a great way to put a plus 160 in our pocket to start the card off. It's a smaller card for me today. But I love what you guys are sharing out there. Troy Torrance leans the Reds as well. Jeffrey Moore says, I'm on both the first 5 and full game under split, both plus money spots. I like that too. I was going to take the full game. I did give out on the sesh earlier today that your grandma's wearing your sister's panties again. Play of the day is the Reds and the under 8.5 at a plus 375. So going to get involved with that game as well. Loaded up here with this Reds game to start things off. I didn't take the Reds in the first 5 just because of Skeens. Look, if he goes out there and shoves and we struggle to get that thing back, I don't know. Plus a half if you wanted to get involved with the Cincinnati Reds. Not mad at that, but I'm not going to step in the way of the Skeens factor, especially if he goes 7 deep. It's what happens after that that's going to be an issue, and especially if he gives up 2 runs. This game could very easily be a 2-1 type of finish, maybe a 3-1 type of finish, and the Reds come home victorious. That's how I decided to open up the card. Cameron Sinnett says Skeen's getting smacked up. I agree. Nutflesh says, depending on your number, Reds team total over is definitely something to take a peek at as well, huh? Little Skeen's getting touched. You know, it's an interesting look because if he's not getting touched, that means that it's got to all happen in the 7th or 8th inning. So just looking here, I'll tell you what, that Reds team total over 3.5 sitting at plus 105 right now. Interesting spot there. Interesting spot. I'm going to write that down. We got to get moving, you guys. You got a lot to cover, little time to do it, lots of stuff to do with the channel to keep this thing growing. And I love you guys coming in here, sharing your looks, man. Joe T likes the over in Pittsburgh. Also, Joe T, I don't know. 90% of the bets, 86% of the cash on the 8.5. It's dropping to 8s. Dropping to 8s out there in some spots. So we'll have to see what happens. JPC says the Reds won their first game of the day after playing at Coors Field. I remember that. That was just last week, wasn't it? It was just last week. And I remember fading them because of that being that spot coming out of Coors. So we will see what happens as that game progresses. Let's roll on the next game on the docket for you guys here. Look, a hefty skip, right? I got a bunch of spots that I really didn't want to get involved with here. I'll give you guys the splits just for reference point here. 80% of the bets and 84% of the money on the St. Louis Cardinals. The line's dropped from minus 156 to minus 152. So there is some reverse movement against the Cardinals. The total's dropping as well, down to 7, opened up at 7.5. 96% of the bets and 94% of the cash on the over in that Cardinals-Marlins game. Phillies, Padres. First cut for me was the Padres game going under 9.5. You got 92% of the bets and 89% of the cash on the over. 4 and 8 are the San Diego Padres between the run line and their team total this past week. 4 and 8. I don't know how the hell they're going to get 9.5 unless it's just Schwarbaum banging them out there. Baum, Harper. I mean, all these guys are obviously very capable of going deep on these guys here. 94% of the bets, 96% of the cash on the Phillies. It's gone from minus 172 to minus 190. Vasquez getting the start out there for the Padres, 4.93 ERA on the season. I just didn't want to get involved with this one here. Like I said, I leaned this thing being an under. Again, though, 12 miles an hour wind going pretty much right down the dick, as Jose Bouquet likes to say. It's getting cooler as the evening moves on. It's going to start off at about 85 degrees. It should taper off around 78 by the time they get to the middle of this game. And, you know, you look at this Philly side of things. Not one guy's seen Randy Vasquez. Then we look on the other side of things, and we've got 3 guys that have had any success against Sanchez. Fernando Tatis, 2 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 home run, 2 RBIs. Profar, 3 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 RBI for a 333. And then Donovan Solano, 3 at-bats, 1 hit for a 333. That one has all the makings to me. If the wind wasn't howling out dead center, I'd be all over that under. I just can't get there with what we've got going on here tonight. But let's, in fact, keep it moving. Next game on the docket here, I talked to you guys about the stake bet with Bouquet. And look, this Toronto Blue Jays, Boston Red Sox team, 79% of the bets, 73% of the cash for me for the Blue Jays. This line's dropped 10 cents. It's gone from minus 130 to minus 120. The total's dropping as well. It's gone from 8s down to 7.5s. 78% of the bets, 77% of the cash on the over. Yet we're seeing, again, reverse movement. Tricky spot, AL East battle. Jose Bouquet opted to look at that game. If you didn't see it earlier, he said that he saw the Red Sox handle the Yankees, and he saw the Red Sox win 2 against the Phillies. I opted to look at that game and say, Toronto's probably going to be the number 2 team out of the AL East, and maybe depending on Baltimore and Yankees, how this thing finagles. Maybe there's a 2A and a 2B. But you look at some of these teams like the NL East, NL Major League leading Philadelphia Phillies. They don't give a shit about playing this Boston Red Sox team. The Red Sox fate to be ineffective, inconsequential when it comes down to tiebreakers out there. And the Yankees, that was a big series for the Red Sox to win that Sunday night matchup there in the fashion that they did. Now they got to get out of town and go to Toronto. Not going to get involved in that one. Other games involve Detroit and Atlanta. 94% of the bets, 97% of the cash on Atlanta Braves. Line has not moved. It's frozen. Minus 215. Then you look on the other side, the total's moving up. 97% of the bets, 96% of the cash on the over. It's Fried and Olsen. Another just missed the cut spot for me was taking Atlanta minus 1.5. But Again, being the home team, they got to go out there and touch Reese Olson up fast. And given yesterday's debacle, I'm not so sure we see that. But 8:05 p.m., the New York Mets flying on down to Texas to play them Rangers. 73% of the bets and 44% of the cash on the Texas Rangers. This line has moved 20 full cents. Now minus 132 from that minus 112. We got a total with some potential reverse line movement. 94% of the bets, 92% of the cash on the over. This line has started to show some eights. It's John Gray, 2.17 ERA, 2-2 on the season for the Texas Rangers. And then we've got Peterson going for the New York Mets with a 4.32 ERA. He's 2-0 on the season. Oldie says, well, that game one trend pretty inverse. LOL. Did I miss it? Did I say it? I'm not sure. Let me tell you about this game. Let me tell you how I'm opting to get paid for this game. This is my favorite play on the board right here for a couple of reasons. One, we got some Texas Rangers that are still kind of binged up, as well as these New York Mets. But it comes down to the righty-lefty situation out here. The Texas Rangers, 17-5 to the first 5 under when they're facing a left-handed starting pitcher. Also, the Rangers are 9-1-1, both the full game and the first 5 unders when John Gray starts. So they play confidently with John Gray out there, but it's more about their ability, the consistency and reliability that is John Gray. I look at this New York Mets team and I just see hey, they've been on a hell of a tear. They took down the Mets. They took down the Marlins. Then they beat up on them Padres, who you already know I'm a selves position on. They won 2-1, 5-1, 11-6. Now they're making their first road trip in a week and a half. I think it's a tough spot. It is the first game back home for the Rangers, who did get swept by those Seattle Mariners. Hard to imagine. 3-2, 7-5, 5-0. I think there's too much injury factor going on with this Rangers spot out there. I think John Gray gets the job done. I did stay off this full game. I thought about it. I thought about getting into it, and I decided, you know what? Just give me my first 5. Let me get in and out of this game here. I just don't want to chance the bullpen coming out there and leaking like a sieve. Both these teams again coming in on no rest situations. And especially when I looked at that last game there with the Mets and the Padres, the final score shows 11-6, but after we saw the Mets, I believe they went up 8-1. The Padres came charging back to 8-6 before the bullpens exploded, and the Mets finished that game off 11-6. So I just want to get in and out of this game. Just give me this Mets. Give me the first 5. I love both those intersecting trends there. John Gray pitches well. The team plays well against these boys. And then on the same side of things, the struggles the Texas Rangers have against left-handed pitchers to me is enough. I see you guys. I see Simeon. I see Morgan Spooner says Simeon hitting 341 off lefties leading off today and 2 of 3 lifetime off Peterson with 1 home run. So much value on the bases over 1.5 at plus 110. With this total, he should get 5 at bats. Let me ask you, Morgan Spooner, just curious. When you see the total bases with the value and you see how he mashes lefties, and then you see it's plus 110. I'm not a big bases player. I don't play. I'll parlay him with Dabby when he puts that prop out there. We'll parlay something together. Typically, the only time I like to get involved in the bases. I'd rather have the RBI than the bases personally. But to me, the red flag there is it's great value. Everybody loves this thing. He's mashing like a bowl of potatoes, and he's plus 110. He's plus 110. Books don't see something they like there, but it'll be interesting to see how that game does evolve. Like I said to you guys, I am taking the first 5. I'm taking the under 4.5. Love that reverse line movement of sorts there with the total. San Francisco Giants, Chicago Cubs. Curious what you guys think about this game here. I do not have a play on this game. I was leaning to this under. It's moved a full 1.5 now. So by the numbers here, minus 126 for the Cubs have moved to minus 115. 74% of the bets, 74% of the cash on the Chicago Cubs. The line's moving the opposite direction. Cash pouring in on the Cubs. Bookies say, I don't care. Then we see the total, 73% of the bets and 70% of the cash on the over. It's gone from 9 to 10.5. Makes sense. I mean, when you look at some of the some of the mitigating factors with the wind and the elements going on with this game here. Let me pull it up real quick. Share it with you guys. Let me find it. Nope. 13.8 miles an hour right down the center. 90 degrees. Jordan Hicks has pretty much shut everybody down. Chris Morel's got 2 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 RBI. That's pretty much the extent of it. Cody Bellinger, 3 at-bats, 1 hit, no ribbies. Then you go on the other side. It's the bottom of the order that's had success against Javier Assad. Mike Yastrzemski, 1 at-bat, 1 hit. Teodoro Estrada, I'm sure I didn't say that right. It didn't sound right as I was saying it out loud. 1 at-bat, 1 hit, 1 home run, 3 ribbies in the bottom of the order. Everybody else has done shit on both sides of this bat. This is despite the elements. Javier Assad, Jordan Hicks, I think these guys can hold this thing down full game. We already know that the, when we look at the bullpen, well, I guess, Wrigley Field certainly has been an offensively driven field. 14 miles an hour winds got me off this game here. Jay Peasy, though, here's something we don't hear all the time. He says, oh, man, I love this under. Wind was blowing out all weekend, and under bets were blowing in my pocket. You can tell this man is a lyricist, huh? Let's go out there. I like that there. You know what? I'll circle back to this game. I'll circle back to this one and see if I want to. If I'm going to take action on that, it's going to be the under. So we will see. 8:40 p.m. The Dodgers moving on into Coors. What Dodgers team are we going to see here today? That is the ultimate question. We saw Mookie, busted wrist, busted up like a piñata. They're now moving Shohei Ohtani into the top spot, and all but fun in the sun for Shohei Ohtani out here. This guy, they're struggling. They're talking about getting rid of his ass. He's on that deferred baseball-friendly contract. He's not even making, $1 million a year for the next 50 years. But somehow, they don't want anything he has to do out there. We see Cal Quantrill on the bump out there. We look at this game here. 84% of the bets and 98% of the cash on the Dodgers. This numbers come from -200 to -165. All that Dodgers love. This thing has dropped 35 full cents. The total started at 12. It's up to 12.5. Now there's some 12.5s, but 62% of the bets and 66% of the cash on this under. I mentioned Cal Quantrill, 3.30 ERA, 6-4. Seems to play better at Coors. Then we've got Paxton on the other side with a 3.92 ERA, 6-1. This guy, to me, ripe for regression candidacy out there. We talked about Rodon last week and being a regression candidate. Yep, check. Been pretty dialed in. We talked about Gausman blowing that spot there in Toronto. Yep, dialed in. And we talked about even Naga being in a spot where he could potentially get touched up. Yep, check the box. Now we're looking at this guy here with Paxton, and somehow he's played beyond his numbers. There's just too much uncertainty going on with these boys right now when it comes to their offensive prowess here. You look at this board here. Again, I just talked about moving Ohtani into the top spot. I get it, you guys. Will Smith, this is against Cal Quantrill. 11 at-bats, 3 hits, 1 RBI for a 273. And then there's Freddie Freeman. 12 at-bats, 6 hits, no home runs, no ribbies, but a 500. Teoscar Hernandez, 11 at-bats, 2 hits for a 182. And then we look at these numbers and you think, if you're going to pick anybody out there, look at what Freddie Freeman does against righties there. The lefty-righty advantage is the best on the team with a 337. He's had 169 at-bats against the righty, 57 hits, 8 home runs, and 33 RBIs. Top G. It's good to see you, my guy. Let's go. JP says, Dodgers even cheaper. That's how I know they're going to cash. I'm betting it now. Well, on the other side of things, I just mentioned Paxton. Myriad of successful at-bats here. Not really. Brenton Doyle's the only guy that's hit 500 out there. I went to the under in this game. I know. I hear you. I'll read off some numbers for you guys. I get it. It's Coors. The numbers increasing. It's 15 miles an hour in. Pretty much dead center across home plate. Maybe just off center. Maybe. I mean, it's 15 miles an hour and it's a stiff breeze coming in with 90 degrees temp out there in Coors. Big spot here, something that I've been trending and tracking for a while. And then I'll talk to you about why I'm not playing Colorado first 5. The Rockies, when they got a high total, they're in a dog roll, playing a team that scores a bunch. They're 49-17 to the under. That's a Rocky-specific trend. Home dog. The unders have been reigning supreme out there. I mentioned Mookie, Now you've got this Yamamoto dealing with rotator cuff injury going on out there. I'm dealing with one of those myself. I know that sucks. You never know when it's going to tweak up. Max Muncy, still on the IL. James Paxton's the answer here? I don't know so much about that. He did have a decent outing his last time out there, but the Rockies are 322 against Southpaws, OBA, 328 OBA at home. So, they're on their 4th straight home game. If that gives them any rhythm, I could see why you guys would want to be involved with this Colorado Rockies team. For me, when I looked at the first 5, to Jay Peasy's point, this number's getting so low that it almost has to cash. I wouldn't want to drop a +1. +112 is the best number that's out there. This line's come down from +124 on this Colorado Rockies team. First 5. I'm specifically talking about the first 5. +124. There are some +105s and 110s out there, but 100 is out there now as well. Even money. I don't see there's any value there. I mean, I get it. You could argue. Morgan Spooner says wind is blowing out to right now 15 miles an hour. I'll have to refresh my lineup indicator here because I see it coming down right down the pike. Right down the pike. Let me follow it up again. I'm still showing 15 down the center. We'll have to double check it. Nonetheless, here, I do think this is a spot where Kel Quantrill plays better at home. James Paxton hasn't really seen any of these Colorado Rockies, and there's not been a lot of success with these Dodgers now in flux around who's going to do what they have to do in their batting orders. They're still juggling things around to figure out how the hell they're going to replace Mookie Betts. I'm going to take this under 12.5. I let him dummy it up for me. Move that thing up to 12.5. If it gets to 13, Morgan Spooner says he's looking at Swish Analytics right now. First pitch, huh? Juggler 23 says not blowing in as well. Maybe my dashboard needs to be refreshed out there. Well, that's going to have to be your call. That's going to have to be your call because wind or not, I just don't know who's going to go out there and smack this ball out there. Who's going to get the rhythm? This being one of those games where no Mookie, I expect that to be problems. Probably knowing that the wind's blowing out like that then, I would suspect there's more value now on Colorado than less value in that situation. Just because a key component, Mookie Betts, has been batting 1 or 2 for these guys for the last 2 or 3 seasons. It's enough to be an issue out there. I'm going to have to check offline after the show to see what's going on here, but I'll give you guys my last bet. Oh, the fucking Reds and Pirates game. Fucking Pittsburgh. Dustin McCalvey. We need your guys to get their shit together. We're in a weather delay. Out there with this Reds game. It was one of my favorite spots on the board. We're in a fucking rain delay. Or I don't know if it's a rain delay or not, but let's talk about 9:38. We've got the Brewers rolling on out to LA playing the Angels. The Halos in town making things happen here with 57% of the bets and 76% of the cash on the Brewers. Small move, 4 cents of movement. Probably line stabilization because it's also moved 4 cents on the Angels. So -112 now, -116 for the Brewers. This total started at 8.5. 94% of the bets, 94% of the cash on the over. What do we got going on here? First of all, Jose Siriano, 3.48 ERA, 4-5 on the season. I believe this guy's a positive regression candidate. He's due for some uptick in the right direction. On the other side of things, what do we got going on? We got Carlos Rodriguez, 22 years old. Just got his shit pushed in against the Toronto Blue Jays in his first start. You want to talk about that one by the numbers. He only lasted 3.2 innings. So just over 3 innings. He allowed 2 runs, 7 hits, and a walk. He did have 4 strikeouts. But they yanked his ass fast out there. Not enough to get the job done. The Brewers now are 331 OBA against righties. But they're striking out at 23.5% rate. They're also hitting a ton of ground balls. 46.5% against righties out there. To me, that ball gets knocked into the field. They turn a double play out there. And just when you thought the Brewers were going to score to win you that first 5, you end up taking that L. I like the Sirianni opportunity. I know the Angels and the lefties, I think they can get to this Rodriguez kid, though. Again, early start. He did not have his finest showing, and now he's rolling again on the road out to the Angels, who, when we look at their stats, when we look at what they've been doing, team that's desperate for some wins. They did come off a series 2-1 against San Francisco. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about San Francisco also being one of those teams where after you leave San Francisco, the struggle bus is on for that next game. So definitely with no rest for either of these teams coming out of this thing here, the Brewers were lucky to pick up that 5-4 win against Cincinnati. I cashed on it, so I'll say they were lucky. I was lucky to get that cash. But I like this Angels first five. More first five plays for me today than in in months past here for this game here. But that's how I'm going to get the battle here. That's how I'm going to get the cash with this first five. Let me just double check the best number that's out. What's going on? It's getting pricey. I guess not really. It's dropping a little bit. Minus 135 is where the very first line to open. There's still a bunch of minus 130s. I do see a minus 117. A minus 117 for the Los Angeles Angels first five. It's good enough for me. I'm going to take that cash. I'm going to run with that money out there. Whoop. It's tough. You got to click the buttons. Got to click this button. I want to read what you guys have to say about these games as well. Joseph Thompson, go figure. He likes the Brewers are easy money. Kelly D says, used to be so dogs Mondays and Tuesdays. JP says the Dodgers are 6-1 on Monday. Undefeated road Mondays. Whoa. That sounds like free money, doesn't it? Doesn't it, JPZ? And you're getting a better number now? I'll tell you what. Devil's advocate would say, when the hell are you going to find Dodgers at this kind of price? Good opportunity to get the job done. Let's go. Justin McKelvey says, I know I'm here. Game is going to go. Yeah, fuck you, Justin. We gotta get a dome over that stadium or something there. Take them over to the Penguins arena. They're not using that thing. Let's play that thing inside. Let's see what happens. Morgan Spooner says this Rodriguez kid is better than his first game line. He has 6 pitches, 36% whiff rate on just fastball and command his curve. 1 infield single, 1 broken bat single out there. And there's Daddy Cab. Morgan Spooner, that's great insight and knowledge. We will have to see what happens with this guy. Morgan Spooner says the advanced analytics show 0 barrels in the Jays game and higher weak hit percentage out there. Mark Schellenberg says, I just got caught in that Pittsburgh rain. Daddy, can you send me the parlay from the sesh? I didn't write it down. I'll tell it to you. It is Simeon over 1.5 bases, JD Martinez over 1.5 bases, and Ryan McMahon RBI. All 3 are plus money spots, and that is a 10-1 parlay over on DraftKings. Simeon over 1.5 bases, JD Martinez over 1.5 bases, and Ryan McMahon RBI. All 3 plus money spots for Mark Schellenberg. LJ from H-Town says the Brewers are 19-13 versus the AL, most wins versus interleague amongst NL teams. Man, you guys are bringing in some fucking great numbers, man. Justin McKelvey shouting out Daddy. Fernando Mendoza says Brew Crew. He likes the over 2. He's riding with our guy Joe T. JP's, he says the Red Sox 2-3 on Mondays. Last 2 losses came versus AL East teams. That might keep him off the Red Sox out there. And Nutflesh says I don't do this often, but gonna put in home run Wisely Conforto parlay. Well, this is the kind of shit you gotta write down. This is what I was telling you guys. Look, I got a pen and paper. I'm not too proud to admit it. I'll take Wisely and Conforto. I'll write those down here. When our San Francisco team total guru whispers, you better have your ears open and hear what he has to say. Let's go, Nutflush, man. That's a fun little sprinkle spot there. Let's go. Cameron Sinet says, dog days of summer. Get the biscuits ready, baby. Cameron Sinet says the dogs are barking. Justin McKelvey's laughing. And Cameron Sinet says game 6 is coming in hot. Justin McKelvey says sitting in car, smoking a blunt, waiting to go into the game. Oh, that sounds fun. That does sound fun. Go in there nice and baked up. Grab yourself an overpriced cheeseburger and sit down and watch us make some money on this first 5 under. Let's go get it done, you guys. All right, let's move on. Dabby Cap says McMahon RBI, Martinez over 1.5 total bases, and Simeon over 1.5 bases. Yep. Sorry if so voice texting. Yep, it's all good, you guys. Let's talk about this Boston. Let's talk about this Boston game here. I took the first 5. you guys have seen all the numbers. We see what happens with this team and that team after getting busted up, after Kyrie Irving, after Jason Tatum. Every sign points to the Boston Celtics to win this game. Everything. Oh, Mark Schellenberg says McMahon's not in the lineup as of now. Oh, is that true? Boy, my hitting templates have to get refreshed then because he's not. Fuck. And it's confirmed. If there's not any more reason to take an under in this game, what are we doing on the spot there? What are we doing? That sucks, though. That's going to still plus money. It's still going to get. Debbie says, don't leave me in a parlay with just Jose. And you guys are both on the same game. Might as well same game that thing and slap the under in there. Maybe we'll have to reevaluate that. Mark does like Tovar bases. Let's go. So I was talking about this Boston game here, you guys. Look, a couple things to know. First and foremost, everything points to this Celtics team getting the job done. I expect them, because they were in that situation where they were just dragging their asses from the second quarter. We talked about this live last week. From the second quarter on, they gave up. They stopped trying. They got rest. They're ready to roll. Maybe there was some truth to wanting to win this thing back at home. I am taking this first half. We've seen that the home team is, I want to say when they lost on the road, the home team is like 115-90 for the first half. So a small margin that shows that they cover the actual spread, but straight up, they're killing them. So this should be a first half opportunity. When I was looking at the most recent trends, let me see if I can find this one too. Try to do this on the fly with it. Shit mouse. You guys know the deal with my mouse. Let's see. Celtics, 9-0 straight up, 8-0-1 against the spread. When Jason Tatum scored less than 17 points the previous game, I'm just picking this one as a small sample. It's showing that they're winning these first halves by almost double-digit points in that spot. It doesn't matter what trend you look at for this Celtics game tonight. I didn't see one of them that showed Dallas, and every one of them showed this first half being a double-digit margin of victory. So I like that first half. I'm jumping in. I am going to take – now, I want to see Dallas win. Sorry, Nasty Nate. Sorry, you Boston backers. I do want to see Dallas win, but I want to get fucking paid too. Enough is enough at this point. Then I was looking on the other side of things here with this total. Big total spot that I saw out there. I think I heard our guy talk about it earlier. The under factor here. 4 straight unders. The under is 11-5-1 in game 5s of NBA playoff series when the first 4 games all went under. Since 2019, it's on a 4-0-1 stretch out there. So it's been a comfortable, confident under series. And it's because teams are just not trying out there. Now, if Dallas comes back and pushes this game in the second half, then there is definitely some vulnerability. I could see LJ's play getting down. Chocolate 23. I just bought this fucking mouse, man. It pisses me off. And then literally I threw out the box and everything else. Like I try to keep the box for a day just in case something doesn't work or it's broken or whatever. I threw that shit out, and the very next day it just started dropping. Anyways. Let's talk about some player props, you guys. Let's talk about some player props. So I'm all over this under. You know, I see LJ's play on the first half over. I mean, I'm assuming he's hoping that these two teams are going to be competitively balanced. They're both going to be playing through the first 24 minutes of this game, the first 2 quarters, and getting the job done. Third quarter has been problematic for this Dallas Mavericks team. Every single third quarter, they've been getting ripped with the exception of that last game, right? Dabby Cab. Oh, he says, Dabby Cab, I smell skunk. What do you have in the air? He's probably working on some cat piss mixed with D's nuts would be my guess. Dabby Cab, if you could fill us in. Nasty Nate says Celtics second quarter. Kelly V said I was going to say return it. Yeah, I was going to return it, but I threw everything out. I don't know. I'll have to look at Amazon Prime. Sometimes it's easier for me just to throw this piece of shit out and get a new one. But you guys don't want to hear about my mouse issues. Excuse me. Let's talk about this. We got some player props for you guys. Now, this isn't a parlay. These are all individual player props for me. Jason Tatum, under 27.5 points. Derek Lively, over 8.5 rebounds. I would ladder Derek Lively's rebounds up to 12. I also got the Lively double-double. He's got 2 double-doubles this series. I'll start there first. He's got 2 double-doubles this series. He's averaging over 9 rebounds in every game this series. The guy's out there killing it. In fact, he's leading the NBA Finals 37 in 4 games. Again, the math gives you just over 9 a game out there. Anytime they're pegging somebody who's been so dominant with the average and they're still marketed at that 8.5, I'm jumping back in. I think the biggest move, the biggest change that took place is they recognized Danny Gafford's not the guy. If you remember how we started the series off, we started off trying to take some Danny Gafford shots, but, Lively has stepped up. And, if you want the validation point behind that, you're starting to see the pendulum shift. Danny Gafford's minutes are going down. Lively's minutes are going up. He's been crushing the bench players on the other side of things. As soon as they swap him in and Boston brings the bench players in, he's kicking everybody's ass. But he's also playing deep into the games. So if you're going to roll the dice on one spin, I would absolutely go with the over 8.5. His 10-plus rebounds is plus 130. So when I talk about ladder in this thing, there's definitely some profitability. And then if you want to look at the purpose here or the proof source in terms of the data, as we say, the data doesn't lie. The last 2 games, Lively's got 25 rebounds and 43 total chances at rebounds out there. He's getting the minutes. He's playing hard in the paint. He's the guy that's really the only sign of life when it comes to playing any kind of defense out there. And he should get the majority of the volume between these guys, between Lively and Gafford, is my estimation on this one. The double-double. I just mentioned how he's the leading rebounder. The other challenge is going to be, is he points or assists? I envision it's assists. I envision he's going to go out there and feed Luka tonight. He's probably going to try to feed Kyrie, but we know what Kyrie does in Boston. The double-double at plus 275 seems like there's some good money on that. As I mentioned, his last 2 games, he's gotten the double-double. So as his time goes up, his confidence goes up. You got 3 different looks there. I'm official on the over 8.5. The 10-plus is plus 130, and I'm official on the Lively double-double. I didn't play the 10-plus ladder because I went to the double-double for the bigger score. Not mad at anybody that wants to play those either side. Then the other side I went to is the Tatum under 27.5 points. Look, we saw what happened this past game. We saw exactly where this thing lingered here. We saw that, when the ball's not going through, specifically when the ball's not rolling through Drew Holiday and Jaylen Brown, this team struggles. And Tatum, trying to figure out his position in that thing, his assists have been sky high in this NBA championship round, but his points have not. His minutes, he'll probably get the minutes unless they blow him out in the second half and he starts sitting. But to me, it's Holiday and Brown that I expect get this offensive train moving tonight, not Jason Tatum. And at 27.5 points, they're not moving this number after watching what he did the last game again. I don't understand what they're doing there. This is, to me, just an opportunity to take advantage of the weaker guy. Defensively, schematically, assist player-wise, setting up the plays, absolutely. Getting the points, not so much. The guy kind of disappears when the lights get bright, and that's exactly what I expect to happen tonight, the under 27.5 points. So there's a little breakdown of 3 parlays or 3 player props that I'm on. And hey, same game parlay that shit. Why not? We'll see what happens with that. But that is going to do it for you guys. So you'll see there we've got Tatum under 27.5 points, Lively over 8.5 rebounds, Lively double-double. Then we rolled in. I took Boston first half minus 3.5 and the under 210. I'm on the Angels first 5. I got the Colorado Rockies under 12.5, the Mets first 5 under 4.5, and I took Cincinnati full game and the first 5 under 4.5. Again, when it comes to rain delays, generally I get apprehensive. I want to move in the other direction. In today's case, the fact that it's Skeens that I was looking to fade makes me like it even more. If I was playing on Skeens, this rain delay would concern me. I'm playing against Skeens. I like this rain delay even more. Reason being, I talked to you guys about this before. They go through the rotation. They go through the order. Their pregame routine has been compromised now because they're sitting back waiting. They've already gone through a warm-up. Now they got to stop. The shoulder gets iced, and they got to go through the warm-up again. That's going to eat into what I expect to be that depth we talked about with Skeens. We talked about the liability for the Reds is if Skeens ends up going 7, they only got 2 innings to go tax that bullpen. The fact that we're in a rain delay makes me like this even more because we're fading on Skeens. I hope I explained that well. Shout out to all you guys that are rocking with us. Hit that thumbs up button on the way out the door, and let's have ourselves a night. We are going to be live streaming. Join Dutch Boy Fresh and I. We are going to rock and roll over on the Pub Sports Radio channel there, giving you guys our fun in-depth breakdowns, live play-by-play, live bets. We're trying to get it done out there. Going to be low-key on a Monday, but it's 6:17. It's 617. How do you want to look at this one here? Last but not least, you guys, 617 is the Boston area code. Today is 617. The last time they won the championship was 617. If you believe in all of that stuff, tonight is the night. So I appreciate you guys rocking with us. We got to get that cash. We got to get a big week brewing here. I came off a terrific weekend, and I want to keep it rolling. We got a lot of cash to make, and we don't have a ton of time to do it. So AOD, Mark Schillenberg, Kelly V, Jay Peasy, Jason Mayer in the house. You guys rock, man. Oldie Morgan Spooner. Let's get this money, you guys. Cameron Sinet. Appreciate all you guys coming in to hang out. Not Flush Allen giving us that parlay prop. He says, at Mike, the thing that screwed up Lively in game one was Porzingis that slowed him way down. No Porzingis, Lively eats. I love that double-double even more after hearing that. Appreciate everybody. Lou Betcha. Glad to catch this live, Pimp. You're a Philly guy, my man. I am a Philly guy. I love that sports city. I love all about that city. Cameron Sinet says first quarter over, Mavs full game. Kelsey says Jose has raccoon problems. Mikey has mouse problems. And there's LJ from H-Town. So if we catch the first half over 107, and I think the second half under. 5 games slows down in the fourth quarter. First 3 games have scored less than 50 points in the fourth quarter. That's what's so great. You guys come in here working together to share those hard-earned looks. And, of course, our guy, the Celtics team total guy here, the Celtics trifecta guy, the wrench. He likes Drew Holiday over 1.5 threes, you guys. Make sure you're following the channel out there. We're driving. We got to get to 500 subs. I need all your guys' help to do it. If you make some money, I don't ask for anything in return other than show some support. Hit that thumbs up button. Maybe a tweet that says, thanks for the tip. Let's get this cash. Appreciate all you guys, and I will be back again rocking with you 6 p.m. tomorrow. You guys know the deal. It's pregame and it's sports money. Let's keep stacking. Good luck with your bets tonight, everybody. Peace.